we have my tester sheet with all of the colors neatly laid out. I've had to look at this more than once because I just couldn't remember what colors I picked out. I have high hopes for this gold over here. I want to work in as many metallic shades as I can. I'm going to start with this darkest brown color. So I'm going to take away the layer and put it back on. And to save you my shaky camera work, I'm just going to sketch it in and take a picture. There it is. I always like to put the paint on a palette, in this case a plastic Tupperware lid, when I can. The reason for doing this, even if I'm using the color as is because when you try to get it out of the tube, sometimes the color isn't pure. Like if you get lazy and swipe some paint off with a paintbrush with white on it, then you get white in your paint, and that's not good. Or if it's an older tube of paint, sometimes you get these dried on bits that appear in your painting, and that's not good either. So if you're not feeling lazy, squeeze it out onto a palette. It's a lot easier to take it up with your brush. And let's paint. Karki is here, so he is doing my camera work. And look at that. I think we're getting better. Definitely. It's not as shaky. Here it is, the finished dark brown layer. All done. Now that we've got that down, let's work on the actual face part. I'm not going to chicken out this time. Instead, we're going to be painting this light tan color, not the lightest tan. Those are just highlights, and it'll be easier to put them on top of the main light tan color. Plus, the placement doesn't have to be real exact. They're just highlights, so. I put a little dot of paint in the areas I'm going to be painting. It's easy to get confused if you sketch more than one color. I've messed this up so much, so give yourself a little guide or be smart and only sketch out one color at a time. You could do that. The pencil lines are showing. I might go back and cover those up, or it's on a boundary, so it might be covered up by the darker color. And, you know, I'm not brushing the paint on as much as kind of globbing it on. This is because it's fur, so I don't want to show brush strokes. I'm getting fancy. Karki's definitely getting better at the camera work. This is awesome. Better than mine. Okay, let's try out that gold for the next color. Oh, nope. Nope. Don't like that at all. Okay, next, we'll go with the original plan, which was to mix these two colors together. And here it is. That color is okay, but I don't like the way it looks with the light tan. The light tan dried darker. It happens with acrylics sometimes. And well, it just kind of looks ugly. Okay, I went back and took the darker tan color that I just painted and just lightened it with some white paint to make the other one. It's going to match better. I can go back and paint over those light tan areas. It's a very, very similar color, but I just think it's not so ugly. I'm going to need this color again to do the ear highlights, which I screwed up the first time and want to redo, so I just painted over those with the darker tan color. When you need to preserve paint on a flat palette, just take some plastic wrap and stick it down right on top of the paint. Don't try to stretch it over because the seal is never good and it will dry out, especially if you're going to wait more than a day or two before painting. And to get the paint, kind of a single-use item here, just carefully peel back the plastic wrap. Now this is about a week old, just for testing purposes. As you can see, it's still wet and perfectly usable. And I filled in the ear highlights. I like that better. Okay, we've got two colors down. Time to go for number 3. Next is that darker brown color, and I'm just using this as is, according to my plan. At least something's going according to plan, right? Now for the next shade, I need to mix another color because these just aren't looking the way I thought they would. So what I'm going to do is take the darkest brown color that I already laid down and the color that I just put down and mix them together to create this in-between shade. And let's just go ahead and paint that in. You guys, this is looking like a cat face. especially after I painted in those little details between the eyes. That's great. Thanks for that, camera work. And last are the white highlights on the face. I'm just using plain white because it's the next shade up. Of course, I've also been doing the feet, even though Karki is not taking video of that because it's hard to get on my phone. But the feet are also filled in. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. And you saw what a janked up job I did. I just really winged it toward the end there. I didn't even draw in some of the lines. I kind of went back and forth, looking at the computer, just painting. With a shape like this, though, once you have the face, and it's a cat, not a person, so who's to say what it actually looks like? It's easy to just improvise. But next is the roses, and I'm going to have to be more careful with that, otherwise things are going to get really deformed and not look great. Until next time!